Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. A lot to give you in music, entertainment news, plus Jimmy Eat World tickets on the way in a few minutes. Well, let's start with what happened right after we got off the air yesterday. We've already announced Lollapalooza. We've announced the headliners. We announced the schedule. And now it was the after shows, so the after parties. These after shows were announced at 10 o'clock yesterday. They're all on our social. But to go through them and highlight some of these that we know you're going to be interested in, for example, Wednesday, Wet Leg, veteran of Q101's Twisted, will be at the Vic, and the Viagra Boys will be at the Metro. On Thursday, Baloo Brigade at the Bottom Lounge. Eco Vandal at Empty Bottle, Kingfisher, who I'm big on, at Lincoln Hall. Love them. Saw them at Martyr, saw them at Park West, and I can't wait for them at Lollapalooza and maybe see them at Lincoln Hall if I can get out there. Julia Wolf at Reggie's, and Youngblood at the Riv.
Thursday's a really loaded day, isn't it?
That's stacked. I don't know how you pick on that one, to be honest. Do you have one you're going to go to for sure on that night? Because I'm going to Kingfisher.
You're going to Kingfisher at Lincoln Hall. I really like Baloo Brigada. You don't even have this on your list, but the band High Vis is playing Cobra Lounge, and I've seen them there before. Suki Waterhouse is at House of Blues that night.
I know, and I love her.
You
Very
mentioned,
ethereal.
yeah, she's amazing. You mentioned Eka Vandal, who's at Empty Bottle. Lauren will be at that show. That's one of Lauren's new obsessions is Eka Vandal. I feel like maybe Youngblood at the Riv is the hot ticket for that night.
Which is the last place he played when he had his own show there last year. He gave away tickets for that. He's going back to the Riv.
Thursday, there's a time slot that has a bunch of question marks. Have you seen that?
Yes, Kenzie.
That's not a band, is it? Like, right? That's like I don't know about.
Now, normally this might be a time for me to pile on Kenzie, but Case came to me and said, just so you know, the question marks are not a band. Before he passed me the sheet here, because, you know, you get to that small font on Lollapalooza, easily the 9 question marks could be a band.
Could be.
But they're not.
It's not.
They're not.
There's a band I like that's just a series of exclamation marks, question marks to my
And he
knowledge.
laughed at me if I asked him the series of question marks. Mind you.
So
Who's your guess, though? Who do you think that's going to be then?
So, by the way, just to make it clear, that series of question marks is for the Salt Shed on Thursday.
That's on Thursday. So the same day that we're talking about with Youngblood and Julia Wolf and Eka Vandal and Baloo Brigada and all these great bands. There's a show at the Salt Shed that night that we don't know what it is.
And that's a pretty big venue. So that's why what are your guys' guess?
Well, before you even guess on it, there's also an opening Friday night at the Metro with no question marks but a blacked out square.
There's nothing there, which I know when, say, Green Day played the Metro at Lollapalooza a few years ago, that was the same image on the after show lineup was, hey, there's just nothing at the Metro on Friday night. That feels weird. There's always something at the Metro on Friday night.
Right. And I know you will never forget that because I took my wife to that Green Day one instead of Case. Kenzie, he never lets me forget that. Very upset with me that I took my wife to that show and not him.
It just seemed weird.
Did it?
She was super pregnant.
Yeah, she was super pregnant, and I famously was not pregnant, and I would have really enjoyed Green Day at the Metro.
You were not pregnant. Good memory. We got into the ADA section on that for her because I said I texted our great friend Joe Shanahan who owns the Metro, and I said
guy who runs the whole place on the day of the show.
And I go, look, I got to get into that Green Day thing. Can you hook a brother up? And I said, by the way, my wife is 7 months pregnant. He goes, you're bringing her to Green Day at the Metro?
You have a young, spry producer. Doesn't he want to go?
He didn't have that part. That's a memory that you remember somehow.
What's
but I don't.
funny is it's not like the guy said, yes, but I only have room for a +1. He didn't even try for a +2. Like, he could have brought you and his wife.
I think it was a little tight in there on that one.
But you didn't try.
I don't think I tried. If memory corrects. But also, he was generous enough to get us in the ADA section for my wife up in the balcony. And I don't think I could have said, can you bring my son from an illegitimate marriage Case along too to get the ADA section to watch from the balcony? That was one of the greatest shows I've ever seen at the Metro by far.
Cool.
That was a great show.
Casino Case. It was awesome.
And so we have some guesses, I guess, Salt Shed in the Metro. Now, I'm just going to say this. I don't know anything, to be honest. The Pumpkins are out there playing Lollapalooza. Wouldn't that be cool? Salt Shed or the Metro, who knows?
They've never played the Salt Shed. They have famously played the Metro many times.
Yeah, and there's none. By the way, the shows that are mentioned, they're not on an after show right now. The Pumpkins are not. So I would think that'd be lovely if they ended up at one of those venues. Now, just a couple more, by the way. You got Mama at Lincoln Hall on Friday and Biba Doobie, Kenzie's favorite, Biba Doobie. Biba Doobie at the Salt Shed. And also, on Saturday, Q101 presents The Story So Far at the House of Blues and Hot Mulligan at the Metro with Locals Football Head.
Very fun night. Unfortunately, those bands have the exact same fan base.
That's a tough-ass choice.
I agree.
Because I've actually never seen Hot Mulligan, and when they sold out the 2 shows and you did the lounge with them, I really, really want to see Hot Mulligan.
Yes, that lounge is on Q101's YouTube channel. Hot Mulligan playing an acoustic set for Q101 last year.
So you got that choice, or the Q101 presents the Story So Far at the House of Blues. Know what they sound like? Of course, Hot Mulligan fans love this. I love this. That's a problem.
Oh, it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It was good.
They're excellent. They're absolutely
Like that.
fantastic.
That's great. And so, again, these question marks, these blacked out spaces, a couple spots for Metro and Salt Shed available, but so many. All of it's on our socials and Q101.com for all the after shows for Lollapalooza. And by the way, when did all those go on sale, Case, those tickets?
What a great question, Brian.
I don't know why I just
I
thought
thought
of
some
that.
of them are because I have this pulled up right now.
I know the pre-sale began yesterday. God, I wish I would have known the answer to this question.
Oh,
before
okay.
you
After
asked.
Some of
shows,
them you can see already.
I got it. So after shows, public on sale was Friday at 10 a.m.
That makes a ton of sense. I should have known that.
That's okay. We found out together. It's on Friday, 10 a.m. Put it in your phone right now for these shows
Be
because
there. And what's happening tomorrow, Thursday at 10 a.m., Brian?
Thursday at 10 a.m. tomorrow, very big deal. Riot Mike and Riot Fest. We make the announcement every year. Our great friend for 20 years since Riot Fest began. Last year was the 20th anniversary of Riot Fest. Riot Mike tradition and often hilarious when he calls up and how we actually deliver the bands in his own way. That will be happening at 10 a.m. tomorrow, the Riot Fest announcement. Now, we know it's September 18th and the 20th, 2026, Douglas Park. We know all that. We just don't know the bands. And I cannot wait. All of us, you know, a lot of times, Case with his ear to the ground hears some rumblings, but you have none right now.
No, I wish I knew. I literally know nothing this year.
So we'll all find out together tomorrow. Riot Mike comes in, Riot Fest. The announcement of the lineup, that will happen right now.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
You can keep your takeaways coming in, 312-967-8300. Text them in, and we'll read them after we get through with sports. Let's go.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Well, the Minnesota Twins improved to 4-1 on their 10-game road trip and have won 7 of 9 overall. Now, they had lost 7 straight against the White Sox, last winning August 22nd, 2025. And so they win last night, 5-3, 11-inning game. But the excitement is certainly on the south side right now with Munetaka Murakami and Riku Nishida playing together for the first time last couple days this week and feeding off each other. Now, Murakami got his 19th home run, AL leading 19th home run this season. And Nishida, once again, coming through with a defensive play, second game in a row.
2-2 pitch. That is poked in the right field. Nishida, he's going to come up throwing. They're going to test him again. Got him! Riku Nishida, back-to-back games, throws out the runner at the plate. You gotta love this kid.
These White Sox games sound like World Series games now.
It's a really lively atmosphere on the south side for the first time in a long time.
And I'm glad. As a Cubs fan, I'm glad. When I go down to the park down there, the Rate, I think it's a beautiful ballpark. I have no idea why they want to build a new one in the 78, which seems to have been quiet lately on that one. So enjoy your ballpark and enjoy what's going on down there with the Japanese players especially. They're just crushing. It's so entertaining. And there you go. In a loss, by the way. Because the losses with the Cubs, not fun, not entertaining, disaster.
Amen.
I mean, 12-1 to the Pirates yesterday. They've lost now 10 in a row. The Cubs are only the second team in Major League history to have 2 10-game winning streaks and 1 10-game losing streak in the same season, joining the 2017 Dodgers, which wasn't that long ago, but it's also the Cubs' longest losing streak since 2022. Bregman and Carson Kelly had 2 hits each, but Chicago went 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position and stranded 9 runners. Yuck.
9 is a lot. There's 9 innings.
I mean, just think if all those guys went in, they still would have lost, but at least it would have been a nice.
That's not good.
Oh, that's the most painful stat you've run in a while.
And they would have lost, but at least it would have looked okay. I mean, 12-9 would have been okay. 12-1. Yuck. Cubs in a real bad situation. Remember, of course, the injuries to the pitching staff. I'm not making excuses. But certainly there's been something since that woman, I still don't know her name, but that woman who yelled at PCA and he yelled back. And since that game, nothing's been good. It's a White Sox curse on the Cubs. And I don't know why there's not a statue of her out in the rate yet. I thought by yesterday mentioning that there'd be a statue up today.
Well, it takes a long time to build a statue.
I don't know how long it takes to build a statue.
Do you think it's a quick job? We actually know somebody that built the Harold Baines statue outside of Sox Park.
Oh. What'd they say on time for that?
It took forever.
Was that is it a year?
What do you hand chisel still? How does it work?
I would think so. It's not a 3D printer.
Maybe. I mean, like a machine makes statues, or do you think people are still out there with like an ice pick and a hammer?
I hope it's ice pick and hammer. I would be disappointed if it's not.
So, how long does it take to build a statue? Now, Google not helping.
Did they go of? Like, finish the sentence? Like, help us out.
I put it Christopher Columbus just for an example.
Okay.
Because they're taking all those down, you know.
Do you want to get into that too?
That's also part of tomorrow's show. The Cold War, we've got the Patriot Act, and we'll talk about Christopher Columbus. This is the answer that Google gives you. Building a statue takes anywhere from a few hours to a few years. That's not helping.
Is that the AI overview?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad this is draining all of our resources. Thanks for that.
Yeah, we really love that Michigan
It's
Lake
always
Michigan
so
water.
useless.
Oh, my God. No, I'm being told this is better, actually.
Well, here they actually give a little more info. A small statue up to 2 feet could take 3 days to 3 weeks. A life size, 6 feet, 3 to 6 months. That's a big jump from 4 feet.
Well, think about 1 foot in statue.
But 4 feet, 3 days to 3 weeks. Why isn't it just 4 times 3 weeks?
You get tired, arms get sore.
Gotta take
Recovery
some break.
time, yeah.
10 feet, 1 to 3 years. Something's wrong there. Oh, it's AI with those stats.
AI sucks. I always thought they could give me some sort of like advanced information, and it never can. I thought they could help me catch a cheater, and it can't.
AI, you want to catch a cheater with AI?
Yeah, I was like, maybe they like know something crazy. So it's like, oh, how do you catch someone cheating? They're like, you should trust them. I'm like, this is crap.
You should trust them.
This computer sucks. Tell me something good.
A cheater's using AI against you now. They're feeding wrong information into it. So
Right?
just trust them.
Well, the cheater's saying, you type into AI, how can I get caught not cheating? Or how can I not get caught cheating?
Yeah. How can I do that?
Huh?
They better say you should be faithful, because I tell you what, they're shooting out for us to just trust them.
Yeah.
Brian, type in how to get away with cheating.
Let's see.
But make sure you're like on AI.
Yeah, but if you're going to the shower right now, all your water's going to disappear when I type this in.
But it's worth it.
How do you get away with cheating? How do you get away with...
Cheating in a relationship.
Yeah.
This is good stuff.
Take notes.
What's funny is it comes up with 2025. Like, I didn't know it was a yearly thing. Like, it changes year to
Yeah, they
year.
update the list of how to cheat every year.
I just went generic with no year.
Okay.
Here's what AI says. While it might feel like there are always ways to, quote, get away with it in the short term, though secrecy or digital hiding, the reality is that the emotional and physiological and psychological toll usually catches up. If you are at a point where you are looking for ways to step outside your relationship, it's usually a sign of something that is fundamentally broken. Here's a better way to look at the situation.
See? Apparently AI has a big moral compass on these things. They won't help me catch a cheater. They won't help you cheat.
The emotional cost is constant lying. It's exhausting.
That's not exhausting. It's exhilarating.
It is actually fun.
What? You guys are crap. This goes right into my theory. This is what men do on guys' nights. Look how much you both like it. I knew it.
Hey, AI's got something here.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Lauren on her way in, 11 o'clock. Another chance at Fest. Shaky Knees Festival, your way to get there. And you also qualify with Riot Fest one-day tickets, which, by the way, tomorrow it's happening. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., right around this time. And it could happen earlier. You never know. So you got to be here from now until 10 o'clock tomorrow because Riot Mike will just kind of saunter in, and before we know it, he'll start listing off bands. So tomorrow, the Riot Fest lineup will be dropped right here exclusively, as it always is, every year for 20 years here with Q101. Riot Fest tomorrow. Make sure you are here. So let's go to our takeaways. Case, what do you got?
Takeaway from Joe and Downers Grove. Staying up until 2 in the morning, getting drunk, and putting a towel on a chair is not a skill. Setting your alarm for 6 in the morning and reserving a chair makes you a genius.
There you go. Kenzie, what do you got?
847's takeaway. Takeaway, have a quickie if you're breaking into someone's home. Show some respect.
And finally, Ryan the Pepper Guy, takeaway. You don't have to be a germaphobe to not want that stuff everywhere.
What else could be done?
So, there you go. That was the wrong clip. That's not what I
Definitely
wanted.
wrong. Why'd you play that?
I didn't want that clip. I
wasn't going to say anything because I don't want to make you insecure at the end of the show. What the hell did you play that
That's
for?
okay. I can take the hit when I make a mistake.
He seems so comfortable.
This clip,
Now you're just playing random. What are you doing?
That
can't
wasn't
do
it
it.
either.
I
What
can't.
do you want?
I wanted the clip of the reporter saying he's got some splaining to do.
Okay, but that's not what you played.
I know it isn't. Because the damn player jumped on me. My Winamp player jumped on me, and it didn't work out okay.
All right.
That's unfortunate. Case, what's on the podcast?
God, that was what an upsetting way to end the show.
Okay, here's what we'll do.
Damn it, Brian. No.
No, let me play the beginning of the story, which is a winning,
Oh, God.
a winning
I'm gonna
headline.
Find it.
Their landlord was supposed to be removing dead birds from the attic. Instead, he was giving a lesson on the birds and the bees on camera.
Very funny. All right, Brian and Kenzie podcast today. We had to pour one out for Schlitz beer. Is that how you say it?
Good job.
All right, Brian recalled his first beer experience and sleeping in the woods with other teenagers. Finally, on the Brian and Kenzie podcast today, Brian and Kenzie break their silence on the Cold War. We'll get into it more tomorrow, but we did discuss, of course, the nuances of the Cold War, Gorbachev, Reagan, the whole deal on the Brian and Kenzie podcast.
Because it's more of a war nickname.
A very
You know?
interesting. Not a forgotten war, though. We remember the Cold War. We also remember the conversation from 7:50 this morning. Brian and Kenzie arguing over chair hogging and whether or not it is a skill to wake up early or not. And finally, it is Wednesday, so a new head to headlines. The Michigan landlord that was caught having sex inside of a rental house. That is where that stuff comes from and that audio that Brian just played.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.